I was just having my lavish lifestyle. I did not have that burden, or I did not have that enthusiasm, because at the end of the day, I was within my comfort zone.
Yes.
But one fine day, I realized, what am I doing here? Right?
Yes.
Do you want to progress in your career, or do you really want to
just stick to your comfort zone?
Comfort zone, yeah.
And do you want to share some milestones or some people who has helped you over the journey?
My father, a tough character. Right, he's just like running a military kind of rule in Sri Lanka.
Was he like very disciplined?
Very disciplined,
person?
and he is the first to wake up in the morning.
Oh, nice.
Right, so I can't remember. I was in my bed not later than 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah. So
he had your 5 a.m. club at that time.
5 a.m. club, and then even my daughter now, I see my daughter as an advisor to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old is she?
Just turned 11. But sometimes she used to say, "Dad, why are you really doing into this? Why are you
she
not?"
She gives you that critical
critical thinking.
Nice.
Sometimes I'm thinking, oh, okay.
She makes sense actually.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That, right?
Then I was thinking, why I was not like this at the time that I was of her age.
Nice. I love the points you mentioned. 3 roles: actor, politician, and lawyer.
Yeah.
That's nice. I think this is a very good way of thinking for any professional or anybody in general who wants to be happy in life, I would say, right?
Now, when it comes for the engineers, the perception, the engineers should be from India.
Yes.
When it comes to the quantity surveyors,
in Middle East conceptions, right?
Exactly.
Wrong conceptions, I would say.
Wrong conceptions. No, and when it comes for quantity surveyors, they should be from Sri Lanka.
Yes.
So when it comes for QA/QC, it should be from the Philippines.
Yes.
Right.
But there is this wrong unwritten rule that happens in the industry.
So
people think like
as long as you blend the diversity into the industry open up a chapter where the diverse inputs will contribute in a greater scale to the successfulness of the industry. How can you concise all the information that you learn over the period of 1 year, 2 year, or maybe throughout your lifetime into that 60-minute slot
interview, right?
Interview and present before qualified panel,
right?
That is the real challenge.
Yes.
Right? Not writing your case study, not writing a summary of experience, not attending CPDs.
Yes.
This is the real challenge.
Real challenge of it.
If you don't know the art, as I told you, if you don't assume the role of these 3 characters, then you are messed up.
Yes. And now coming to this online versus in person, because we were all from the pre-COVID era,
exactly.
Doing the RICS. So at that time, everything was in person. So there was one great advantage to it, was that the personal connections you were making. Like I said, like I was a very junior person, maybe around 6-7 years experience at that time. And all my classmates were like contracts directors, contracts managers, so all very senior people. And they were very happy to guide me and all those. And I had a very strong bond with all of them. So what is the difference now? Are you seeing them still making those bonds when they're coming in the online programs?
Well, I would say COVID had created a much more impact in the industry, where it switched the physical events into online events.
Yes.
Now, I would say most of them are sitting within their comfort zone because everything is online.
Yes.
Even though there is a physical networking event is there, people,
most of them just want to do it online.
Just chill out by just sitting back home. I mean, I personally prefer that you have meetings or CPDs in person rather you having online, where the interaction with the crowd or interaction with the audience is much more effective
when you have that in-person connection coming, right?
But when it comes for this online platform, that in-person connection will not, it's not up to that
level which we had in those in-person ones, right?
So, I mean, as you said, we were the candidates, or we were the professionals of the pre-COVID era.
Yes.
We got our RICS somewhere 2018, if I'm not wrong. So I think you and me got at the same time.
Yes.
So those days, all coaching sessions or
everything
the
were in person.
It's just like we learn as a group or a team, right? Everybody contributes each other.
Yes.
Right. But now I don't think that's happening to that extent
anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
So if you are a professional, I would always suggest that step out of this comfort zone
and make those little groups at least, right? Where you can actually see.
Correct.
Because we had those study groups at that time, 4-5 of us. We would meet every every weekend, I think at that time we had Friday as the weekend here, and every Friday morning we would meet in Academic City in a food court. All 5-6
Correct.
of us, we would come, we would discuss different competencies, our case studies, summary of experience. That bond was really strong at that
Correct.
time. And now you also mentioned about the group which you were part of. Do you want to share about that as well?
Well, to be honest, those days back in the day, the APC was kind of a luxurious thing. Like, getting
Yes.
MRICS means it's kind of a luxurious thing. I would always, appreciate where I came from.
Yes.
I was in the industry for quite some time. At that point in time, it was around 6 to 7 years in Middle East itself.
Yes.
Maybe 8 years if I'm not wrong, to be precise. I was just having my lavish lifestyle. I did not have that burden, or I did not have that, enthusiasm, because at the end of the day, I was within my comfort zone.
Yes.
But one fine day, I realized, what am I doing here? Right?
Yes.
Do you want to progress in your career, or do you really want to
just stick to your comfort zone?
Comfort zone, yeah. Then there was one informal group which was orienting on the APC process.
Yes.
It was not only for MRICS, it was also for MAIQS as well.
Yes.
So there's a group called Our QS Class.
Our QS class.
Our QS Class.
Nice.
It's a very informal group where
Yes.
it's orienting and it's providing the community in terms of the right quantity surveying knowledge, and when it
Nice.
comes to the competencies, the mentors are also who are the RICS members
Yes.
of our community. They come do the sessions free of charge, right? The audience were 100 plus,
Oh, nice.
right? And then
nice.
sometimes we had that caliber where when we had this one-on-one, when we had these mock interviews,
Yes.
we used to book Al-Futtaim Trading Center
Yes.
for maybe 2 weekends.
Uh-huh.
Per day, a minimum of 100 mock interviews.
Wow.
Yeah, with different rooms. Like the Al-Futtaim
Yes.
Training Center, you have multiple rooms. The
Yes.
rooms will be converted into 3 partitions room. Okay?
Yes, where you can have all this
So
mock
100
interviews
plus
done.
interviews. I mean, it was so amazing.
Oh,
Right?
nice.
Everybody was contributing each other to make it happen. Right?
Yes.
From the mentors, when it come for the previous successors who assumed the role of assessor.
Very nice.
It was really, really a bonding kind of approach that we
Experience
had.
you had. Very nice.
So that is where I am hailing from, to be very frank,
yes.
though I am doing it on a different scale.
Yes.
But I would always acknowledge the great support that I
Of
got.
where you had come from and how it helped you, right?
Yeah, and then I would like to take this opportunity to gratitude one person who really helped me out a lot, Mr. Saman Melakidara.
Oh, nice.
He was also my counselor, very humble person, easy to reach out.
Very
Anytime,
nice. Always available.
Yes,
as a
anytime
mentor.
I call him, Mr. Saman, I have some problems. Can you explain me? Can you do it? He was really down to the earth person, where he was really, into it. And then he was the person who inspired me to get
Very
this
nice.
qualification. If I am here as sitting in front of you as a chartered surveyor, that is because of the support I got from Mr. Saman Melakidara.
Oh, that
So
is
a huge
amazing.
gratitude for him.
There's a huge shout out to him,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Amazing. And so, how did you actually come into this journey for the first time? Like, when did that transformation happen to become a QS journey itself? Because you mentioned you come from a different industry earlier, right? So, how was that? What inspired?
Well, really, to be honest, when it comes for the management kind of thing, like, when it comes to the industry, again, all the decisions that we make, it depends on the industrial trend.
Yes.
Right. Now, if you take up a job where the construction industry is the dominated industry, obviously you will try to switch into that.
Yes.
Right. So that is how
Initial step of
initial
it,
step.
right?
So that is how even you, as an engineer, starting
Yes.
as an engineer, you step into the
step
quantity
into the
surveying.
QS world.
I was under the impression that the role that I was doing, it's quite boring at
Okay.
that point in time. Okay, let me find
Explore new zones,
opportunities.
right?
So
Okay.
that is where I started my QS journey.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So now here I am.
Very nice. And do you want to share some milestones or some people who has helped you over the journey other than your counselor? But is there anybody else you want to share
yes,
about?
there are many. Let me start with my parents.
Nice.
Obviously, my parents was at that time the role models of me.
Nice.
Especially my father, a tough character, right? He's just like running a military kind of rule in Sri Lanka.
Was he like very disciplined?
Very
strict
disciplined,
person?
and he is the first to wake up in the morning.
Oh, nice.
Right, so I can't remember. I was in my bed not later than 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah. So
he had your 5 a.m. club at that time.
5 a.m. club, and then wherever you go by 6 p.m. you should be home.
Okay.
Right. So that kind of a rigorous approach that
very
he had.
strict routine for
and
all
then,
of you in the home.
Even though the path, even though sometimes at that time I felt it a little bit of a burden for me, but now I believe that gave me the courage to organize myself within the time limits.
So you have become a very organized person because of your childhood, where he had actually made you that routine person.
Correct.
And what would you do waking up at 5 a.m.? Very curious to know.
My father always says that, when it comes for your early morning, the routine.
Yes.
Right. So it's always good that you wake up in the morning, start up things very early.
Oh, nice.
So that you have enough time to spend over the period of over the course of the day.
Yes.
Right. So it is really because
so
now
you
when
get
it comes
to organize your day in the morning without the chaos,
without
everything.
because if you want to make any critical decisions, do it in the morning. Right. Because you are in fresh minds. If you want to organize yourself, please organize in the morning. Don't keep until the last minute.
Very nice.
I mean, really, that helped me a lot in terms of operating now as well.
Oh, very
nice.
So,
I mean, I'm a very early person. I take decisions in the morning sometimes.
Oh.
But it helps me in a greater scale.
Very nice.
And then when it comes for my... after I transit from my parents and then to the professional life, obviously before into the professional life, my wife, my daughter, they played a key role in my success
as a
career development, because the patience that they had, right, especially my wife,
while you were busy studying.
Exactly.
All right.
The patience that they had, and then on top of it, the encouragement that my wife gave, and even my daughter now, I see my daughter as an advisor to me.
Wow. Yeah. How old is she?
She's just turned 11, but sometimes she used to say, "Dad, why are you really doing into this? Why are you not?" She
gives you that critical
critical thinking.
Nice.
Sometimes I'm thinking, oh, okay.
She makes sense actually.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Then I was thinking, why I was not like this at the time that I was of her age.
Nice. I think today's generation have that much broader outlook on things.
Correct.
Right.
And then there are many people who supported me other than Mr. Saman Velakidara. I just quickly, there are many, but I will mention few of them. Nice. One was Mr. Rajan Prabhu. He was my first mentor, and mentor means he was my line manager to be
in the first company when you became the QS.
Correct. So he was a person that he had that ability to find the potential of a person and then push towards the right path.
Very nice.
If I am here, as a quantity surveyor, it's just because Mr. Rajan Prabhu, he's retired now.
Okay. He is the one who guided you initially when you stepped into this journey as a QS.
It was not into the QS role, but he involved me into these contractual matters, contractual drafting,
nice.
When it comes for the contractual, like for example, the complexities. So he always tried to share the knowledge, how to deal with things, what are the things that you need to look for. So he was the first inspiring person for me to start my journey.
Start off with.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then as we go, there were many mentors. Mr. Anthony Almeida, who was my second line manager when I was working in Dubai.
Oh, nice.
So I was working for almost 9 years with Danway Electrical Mechanical Engineering.
Oh, nice.
And then it's Mr. Krishant Senivratna. I treat him with utmost respect. He also was my commercial manager when I was in BAM. These are the characters who had supported me to a great extent, and then also other mentors. It's not good that I don't mention their name, but
yes.
The thing is that there are many.
There are a lot of them, right? Yes.
So the support that you get in different intervals
is huge.
is where
I think it's about meeting those right mentors at the right points
time.
in your
Exactly.
life, right? Because even when I look at my journey, I've had a lot of mentors who I would say the universe just put it in front of me at the right time. So
Correct.
I took the right decisions and into the right career paths at different point in time.
Correct.
So, Roshan, as this is the case with most of the coaching programs, right? Some people assume that, you know what, there's a lot of free information available on YouTube or any different website. I can search for it and probably learn myself and apply for RICS. Of course, there are people who do it and become successful as well. But in general, how does that mentoring programs or coaching programs help an person to become RICS?
Well, I would agree with your point. There are oceans of information
Yes.
that you have over the internet, because now it's in a globalized
Yes.
world. But the reason is that when it comes for your charterships, it's an art,
Yes.
right? If you don't blend into that art, obviously you will find quite a challenge to cope up with the requirement.
Yes.
Now, when it comes for the APC process, it's also the same, right?
Yes.
So I used to sell I used to advise my candidates, right? Not even during your APC process, but even in your career journey, you need to assume the role of 3 characters.
Okay.
One is to become an actor,
Okay.
becoming a politician, or becoming a lawyer, right?
Okay.
So the
Actor,
role of
politician, lawyer.
yes,
Okay.
right. When it comes for the actor, you need to have that right PR,
Yes.
right, to market yourself, right,
Yes.
to keep the interaction with the community, or the
Yes.
interaction with the core team members, the management, or
Yes.
whoever it is, who are the stakeholders
Everyone
are.
who you're working with on
Correct.
a daily basis.
Yeah, so that is the role of actor, where
Yes.
you need to showcase yourself.
Yes.
Right, I'm the right person, and
Yes.
these are the credibilities of me.
And that is how you can convince a panel also during the interview.
Exactly.
Even if it's a job interview, I think it's the same. Selling
same.
yourself, right?
Correct.
Yes.
So the second one is the lawyer.
Yes.
Like, there are areas that you are dominating. Like, for example, if you are a commercial and contracts manager, in my capacity, if you ask me about commercial management, that is my bread and butter.
Yes.
Right? You have to dominate left and right.
Yes. You
Right.
should know everything about
Everything,
it,
in
right?
depth of it. Right?
Yes.
Now, when it comes for the politician roles, as you know,
Yes.
you have to be very diplomatic in certain circumstances.
Yes.
Even in your job role, also you have to be very diplomatic.
Yes.
Now, when it comes for the AP session, there could be tricky questions. There could be different answers,
Yes.
right? There could be a right answer, there could be a wrong answer, or sometimes it might be in between.
And it might be something that even tests your emotional intelligence
Exactly.
there, right?
Yeah. So you have to be really playing the role of a politician, where you need to be very diplomatic when you're answering certain questions.
Yes.
Some tricky questions, such as they ask your opinion.
Yes.
What do you think? Right? Sometimes if you feel that, okay, this is kind of a tricky question, then you have to quickly switch into the politician's mode,
Yes.
and you need to handle the problem in a diplomatic manner.
Okay.
Right, so it's not only for the APC.
It's the whole life, I
it's
think.
the whole life,
right?
isn't it?
Right? Even if it's while running a business or while being part of a job when your career. I think that I love the points you mentioned. 3 roles: actor, politician, and lawyer.
Yeah.
That's nice. I think this is a very good way of thinking for any professional or anybody in general who wants to be happy in life, I would say, right? And now coming to the academic side of quantity surveying, I would say that I am an accidental QS because I come from India and I studied civil engineering, and I've heard about QS as a profession before, but there is no opportunity for us to learn there. Now we have MIT University, and that is just in the whole big country like India, it's just 1 or 2 places they have that formal education. Whereas I see from your country, Sri Lanka, you have that 4-year degree as a proper structured training program for, right? And I see a lot of QSs also come out from your industry. But whereas from India, you will see very few people who come as a trained QS, and then they come here as an engineer, and then they shift their journey as being a QS. So what is your take on this, how should different countries contribute to this industry?
Well, I would say when it comes for a profession, now, let me be open.
Yes.
Now, when it comes for the engineers, the perception, the engineers should be from India.
Yes.
When it comes to the quantity surveys,
in Middle East conceptions, right?
Exactly.
Wrong conceptions, I would
wrong
say.
conceptions. No, and when it comes to quantity surveys, they should be from Sri Lanka.
Yes.
Right. So any other profession from different,
Yes.
so when it comes for QA/QC, it should be from the Philippines.
Yes.
Right. I think that is not the way that the industry should operate.
Yes, but there is this wrong unwritten rule that happens in the industry.
So
people think
as long as you blend the diversity into the industry open up a chapter where the diverse the inputs will contribute in a greater scale to the successfulness of the industry. But sadly, this has not been the case over the period of time. But I am happy that the industry is gradually changing into that role. Right?
Yes.
That should not be a case that a particular nationality should have that profession.
Yes.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you need to blend each other.
Right.
So if you are, there could be different things. Now, if you are, if you have a, like say for example, when it comes for engineers, if you come from one particular nation,
yes,
you can easily see the politics within running within them.
Yes.
Right. So similar to the quantity surveying as well.
Yes.
So if your organization is having only a particular nationality who is
under industry wide, right?
Then again that is going to
create a lot of political unnecessary kind of.
It's a chaos,
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's not a good way of dealing with the things.
Yes. Yes. Now to wind up our interview, the last question is like related to this itself. As a chartered surveyor, right? Like once somebody grows as a chartered surveyor, what is your advice to them on giving back to the society, or how can they contribute to the society? Or maybe like as a chartered surveyor, can I contribute to my own country and bring that education programs there or academic programs? So what are the different thought processes?
Okay, I will, before I touch into that, let me just give a brief about how you should approach your final interview. As I mentioned before, it's a process of you can learn things from different sources, right? Whether it's through internet or you interact with somebody or you prefer video, webinar. There are so many thousands of sources that you have
available. Yes.
The real challenge that you will have as a candidate who is facing your interview, how can you concise all the information that you learn over the period of 1 year, 2 years, or maybe throughout your lifetime into that 60-minute slot
interview, right?
Interview and present before a qualified panel,
right?
That is the real challenge.
Yes.
Right. Not writing your case study, not writing a summary of experience, not attending CPDs.
Yes.
This is the real challenge.
Real challenge of it.
If you don't know the art, as I told you, if you don't assume the role of these three characters, then you are messed up.
Yes.
Right. So that's a bit of advice about
to the chartered surveyors that you would like to give.
And coming back to the
giving
question,
back to the industry.
Society. See, what I believe, the knowledge cannot be hidden within you. Now, for example, if I resist that I'm not going to share my knowledge to you, right? You will find another way
to get the knowledge.
Right? This is a global forum.
Yes.
Right? That is what you should understand.
Yes.
Secondly, you need to understand that everybody is a human being.
Yes.
Right? Even though we come in different nationalities, different beliefs, different diversity, at the end of the day, this is where we live. So we don't have another planet to go.
Yes.
Right? So when we are working together, at the end of the day, even though we studied from different universities or different groups, it's not only the source that you are here.
Yes.
Right? You are getting also input from different people, different societies, different beliefs. So at the end of the day, whatever things that you learn, as long as you give to the society, you will, it's not only contributing to the society, but also you are developing yourself.
Yes.
Right? Now, just to give a little bit of a brief about it. Now, when you talk about me, now when I keep on giving the lectures to my candidates, every now and then I am updated.
Yes.
Right. So
because you have to stay updated in the industry to be able to train them. Right?
Correct. Now, because my last season, the one before this, the current
submission,
season, my contract administration. Contract practice and contract administration competence, the CPD. It was just around, I would say, 7.5 hours.
Okay.
But this season, it went to almost 10 hours.
Because a lot of new information is added.
Yeah, because
a lot
at
of
the
new
end of the
things
day,
have come.
if you like area like contract administration is just like ocean,
Yes.
right? It's just not, the wrong perception that most of the candidate has is that if I know FIDIC, that is more than enough. But it is not the
That is just
case.
one part of it, probably, right?
It's just a standard form of contract.
Yes.
But when it comes for the subject as contract practice, it's an ocean.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to,
Stay
even
updated
stay
in the industry.
and what are the trending topics and what are the complexities that you have.
Yeah,
if you
nice.
don't know the depths of it,
Then you're going out.
Yeah, you're going out of it.
Nice. Thank you so much, Roshan, for this amazing time with us, and thanks to all our listeners for this listening to this show. And especially if you are in the industry of concession and if you're a quantity surveyor, I'm sure you got a lot of information and a lot of knowledge nuggets from Roshan. Thank you so much, Roshan, for being
Thank you for
on the
having me.
show.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.